Hello everybody, here we are today talking about two big extensions the Winnipeg Blue Bombers pulled off. Now before we start talking about that, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or the CFL. With that being said, let's get on into it. So yes, today was a huge day for Winnipeg fans as they had two big extensions, that being Brady, Oliveira, and then Dalton, Schoen. Now Brady is a fun talking point here because it really did seem like maybe his foot was going to be out the door and he was going to leave. The Winnipeg kid that spends his offseason rescuing dogs is going to be sticking around, and the good thing for him and the team is he's a pretty good running back. I would probably bet that multiple people that were especially Winnipeg fans say he is the best back in the league. He is coming off of a 1,500-yard season where he averaged almost 6 yards per carry, which is just insane. Now the good news is too, this extension is a 2-year deal keeping him through this season and next season, meaning that there's going to be a little bit more stability where you don't have to worry about, are we going to have to play this game again, where he could be gone. And the thing with Brady that I really like is his ability to be that dominant back. I think in the CFL, especially with how we're more of a pass-heavy league, you can have running backs have good games and maybe even like good season, but he is a true star in the league. I mean, this is somebody that's coming off of 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons that will give you over 100 yards in a game if he wants, and he'll just gash the defense. I mean, just outright in between the tackles, get to that second level, go through, it doesn't really matter. That is going to be something that I really like to watch out for and see if it continues this year, because Winnipeg is going to be seeing some change with this. You've had some people that agree to terms with some other teams. The offensive line is going to look a little bit different this year. But if Brady can have a good year this season, then I think it's going to be a very promising thing for 2025, where you could say, well, even if we do lose some pieces on the offensive line, we are still capable of having a back that's going to be very useful for us and be able to run down the clock, get harder in the first downs, be able to just get out to an early lead. I mean, he's good enough to where he could get a big play and take it to the house, which is what you like to see with this side. Now, year one of this deal will be $230,000. Year two will be $240,000. I think that if he has a bad year this year, because again, with the offensive line, some things may be changing, people will panic and say, oh my gosh. But the good news is, if things really don't work out here, you are only going to have him under contract for 1 more year. That being said, again, hometown kid, really good player that I do think is absolutely a game changer in the CFL. Getting him to stay again while he's not even 30 years old, that's not a bad thing. Now, do I think running backs are as important as some other positions? Certainly not, because again, Brady's been able to have some good games in some big moments and the team is still lost. But the point remains, they thought they were maybe going to lose him and they were able to keep him. And as for Dalton, Schoen, this is going to be a 1-year extension. He is another player that was one of those big name free agents that if he did hit the open market, a lot of people were talking about it. I mean, when the Bombers traded Drew Brown to Ottawa, I was one of those people that talked about the rumors swirling around that Dalton Schoen was thinking about possibly going there. Now, Ottawa has been so busy in the offseason. Pickett that they agreed to terms with, Rhymes obviously that they were able to get, and then Drew Brown. I know I'm missing some other people as well, I'm sure, but they've been super busy. So you know financially that probably wasn't going to work there, and there really is only one ball. They just had signed Hardy to an extension. They've already got Ackland there. So, you know, with Schoen being where he was still going to get suitors, but with Winnipeg wanting to retain him, maybe the things been going on there with Ottawa was kind of a good thing for him to be able to stay. So he's got 26 touchdowns in 34 games, has a 1,400-yard season in year one. This year, I think, battled injuries a little bit more, but will probably be the guy for this Winnipeg receiving core. They have a really talented core. I know that I talk about how good Winnipeg is, but the fact that they're able to keep both of these players is really fun to see. And while I did say they're going to be losing some guys because money is money and the CFL salary cap is not great, they are looking at another team in the Toronto Argonauts that are just losing guys left and right. Again, Pickett is going to be leaving for Ottawa after playing in Toronto. Javon Leake, I think, just agreed to terms with Edmonton. And then you've got AJ Ouellette that is going to be going over to Saskatchewan, supposedly. So Winnipeg is in a spot where they're seeing a purge from Toronto, a team that just went 16-2, that theoretically could be a great Grey Cup competitor for them over the course of the regular season. Maybe they even meet in the Grey Cup, seeing them get maybe considerably weaker, whereas Winnipeg is keeping some of those big names. Now, they will be losing Demario Houston, I think is signing somewhere. I didn't see where he agreed to terms with. I want to say Calgary, but either way, we will see how this Winnipeg team reloads for the season. We will see if this offense is potent. It's hard to imagine that this offense isn't going to be able to score a lot of points. We'll just see if there's more flaws with this team and if it's easier for some of those other teams out west to close the gap a little bit. But either way, in terms of sales and getting the fans engaged, having Brady back, having Dalton back are big deals, and then other teams aren't able to benefit from that. So that being said, what are your thoughts on all this? Do you think that Winnipeg did the right thing by getting these guys? And if not, tell me why, and all that good stuff. So let me know all that stuff in the comments. Please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe and have a great night.